Every day, cities produce millions of liters of wastewater from homes, from hospitals, from industries, from markets. But here's the uncomfortable question. Where does it actually go? In many places, the answer is simple. It goes straight into rivers, straight into drainage systems, straight into the environment, untreated. And when wastewater is mismanaged, the consequences ripple far beyond the sewage itself. Let's talk about what that really means. Wastewater is not just dirty water. It is a complex mixture of contaminants. Household wastewater contains human waste, food residues, detergents, and chemicals. Hospital wastewater can contain pharmaceuticals, pathogens, antibiotic residues. Industrial wastewater may contain heavy metals, toxic chemicals, solvents, and oils. When all of this enters the environment untreated, it becomes more than pollution. It becomes a systemic environmental hazard. In cities without proper wastewater treatment, drainage systems often serve as the default disposal route. Wastewater flows through open drains. Those drains feed into streams. Streams feed into rivers, and rivers become the final dumping ground. This is how urban pollution quietly accumulates, day after day, month after month, until entire waterways become biologically unsafe. And once a river is contaminated, the damage spreads quickly. Contaminated water affects communities in multiple ways. First, it spreads disease. Untreated wastewater carries pathogens that cause cholera, dysentery, typhoid fever. But the health risk does not stop there. When wastewater contains antibiotics from hospitals or farms, it contributes to something even more dangerous: antimicrobial resistance. This happens when bacteria evolve to survive antibiotic exposure, which means infections become harder to treat. This turns a sanitation issue into a global health threat. Wastewater pollution also damages ecosystems. When large amounts of organic waste enters water bodies, they increase nutrient levels. This process is known as eutrophication. It causes excessive algae growth. The algae consume oxygen in the water, and when oxygen level drops, fish and aquatic life begin to die. In severe cases, entire rivers lose their ecological balance. What was once a living ecosystem becomes biologically stressed. Wastewater mismanagement also creates economic losses. Contaminated water affects fisheries, agriculture, tourism, drinking water supply systems. Farmers using polluted water can unknowingly contaminate crops. Fishing communities lose their livelihoods when aquatic ecosystems collapse. And governments must spend far more money treating polluted water than preventing the pollution in the first place. In other words, poor wastewater mismanagement is extremely expensive. The good news is that wastewater does not have to be a problem. If properly treated, it becomes a resource. Treated wastewater can support irrigation, industrial reuse, groundwater recharge. But this requires investment in wastewater treatment plants, sewage infrastructure, regulatory enforcement, and urban planning that prioritizes environmental health. When wastewater is managed properly, cities become healthier, rivers recover, communities become safer, and the environment begins to heal. Because the way a society manages its waste tells you everything about how it values its future. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.